Ramsey, Aubameyang, oh brilliant! He took it first time and with devastating effect. Put through by Steve Bold, would you believe it?
I don't want to waste what's left. The storms we
chase. The game, according to the referee, and Bergkamp certainly life in hand.
No, I don't want to waste what's left. And on we'll go.
Henri, what a goal!
Stands through the highways till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go.
He's in again, pushed out by Bartes. Wiltor!
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Blind Greener. Welcome to this preview of Arsenal versus Liverpool. And joining me is Sam Greenwood. How you doing, Sam?
All right, Daniel. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure being here as always. Nice to see everyone. Hope everyone's well. So, yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to remind you all, do hit the like button. Do smash the like button and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Listen, I just want to say as well, I know they're over on the Bansters are doing a tribute for Claude, so I was trying to time it when that finished. I think they're just about wrapping up, as you know, with those tributes. They go on for a long time, and listen, I understand that everybody's going to be flitting between the two, so listen, Claude was a top bloke, you guys know that, and that's absolutely fine. Sam, Liverpool, how are you feeling about the game tomorrow?
I tell you what, Liverpool is always one of those teams where you just really don't know what you're going to get. I mean, of course, lately we know that they're a much better team than they used to be. Of course, they've been a great team, even though they've fallen off a bit lately. But, it's one of those teams where it's always so hard to get a result, isn't it? They always play so good against us normally. And it's always a really, really tough fixture, normally always a good fixture with plenty of good football on display. Some good performances always from different players. And it's just one of those classic fixtures, isn't it? Twice a year, home and away against Liverpool. It's just always a good game. And I think tomorrow's going to be very interesting because they're not in the greatest of form. They did win their last game. It looks like they got Firmino coming back, but they've still got plenty of other injuries. But that being said, Liverpool on their day, if they're up for it, if they're motivated, of course, they can still play really well with that front line of theirs. They got Salah there, he can always bang in a few goals if he's really up for it. And but yeah, it's just going to be one of those games where we don't really know what we get. If we're up for it, we have this problem lately where we start slowly and we only maybe have one good half, and we have these silly mistakes and everything like that. If we're up for it, we could give them a good game. And I just feel like we just need to do our best, and we could get a result because Liverpool. I think all in all, I think Liverpool are there for the taking tomorrow. I think with their current form, with their injuries, it's a good time to get at them and get 3 points, and hopefully we'll be able to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, I look at this game and I don't know, like I'm just a little bit kind of. Do we want to risk getting massive injuries in this game? Because I look at the Europa League game ahead of that having more importance. Because let's be honest, Sam, our league form is we're not going anywhere, are we? We're not, we're not going anywhere in the league. So I don't know. Like if we win, I don't even think we move up the table, right? So I just look on it and think if we lost tomorrow, obviously I'm gutted every time Arsenal loses. But if we lost tomorrow, I look on it and go, do you know what? Maybe it's not the end of the world because we have the Europa League is where it matters.
Yeah, I agree with you completely, Daniel. You make a good point there. That we do have the Europa League coming up on Thursday. A big game for us, of course. It's our only chance of getting into Europe, really, realistically, I would say, and also it's definitely our only chance of silverware this season, of course. And but yeah, you're right. Maybe Arteta will have one eye on that game and maybe rest a couple of important players tomorrow. That could very well happen. It'd be interesting to see what the lineup is tomorrow. That being said, I do think, I still think Arteta wants to get as much out of the league as he can, and get as high as he can in the league, because I agree with you. Most likely, we're not going to get there. Well, I don't think we'll get there, but theoretically, we can still get into sixth position, that last Europa League spot, even though I think it's not very likely. But it's going to be interesting to see how he prioritises the lineup tomorrow. I agree with you, because he'll probably have one eye on Thursday, and at the same time, he wants to have a good game against Liverpool. Doesn't want to throw the towel in against Liverpool. Definitely not. I think our fans would be very disappointed if he did that. But yeah, it's striking that balance. It's going to be interesting, because I know Smith Rowe and Saka are sort of in the balance. They have fitness tests tomorrow, so maybe both of them get rested. That's what I'm thinking. And then we've got the likes of Willian and Pepe coming in, and we need to see how they perform.
Yeah. And a lot of people in the chat saying about David Luiz not being able to play.
Yeah, he's out tomorrow.
He's out tomorrow, and I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I know. Like it's really mad because I look at this game, and it is a big game when you play Liverpool. But I don't know. Maybe I just look on it and I just look on this game and think the Europa League has more significance. And
I agree.
I don't know.
I really agree.
Maybe it's probably because of everything that's gone on this week. My enthusiasm for football has just completely plummeted, like Arsenal's Premier League chances. But I just, I don't know. Like maybe it's.
I get your point, Daniel. I get your point, because at the end of the day, I agree. If we lose tomorrow, it's not the end of the world, because it's not like we were fighting for the championship or fighting for that last Champions League spot where every point counts, is it? It's like if we actually lose tomorrow, and I don't say we want to lose. Of course not. We want to win. We want to do our best and win the game. But if we were to lose tomorrow, it's like you say, it doesn't really have those big repercussions. And at the same time, our most important game is on Thursday. I agree, and that's why it'll be interesting to see with the lineup tomorrow what Arteta does with that. Luiz is out, so I agree with Ryan, Mr. Arsenal podcast in the chat. I hope you're doing well, mate. I agree with him. I would love to see Mari come in and partner Gabriel. Gabriel and Mari. I'd love to see them two together, but it seems like Arteta doesn't want to pair them together. It feels there's something there that they can't do. I don't know, but I'd love to see them play. What do you think?
Yeah, Big. I just want to acknowledge Arsenal Manic James Dunlop as well in the chat. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Do you know what it is? Right, it's. You guys know how passionate I am about football and passionate I am about Arsenal. But do you know what? This week, I tell you what, has just taken a lot out of me, and it's hard. It's like you asked my my wife. Like I've been just doing things on autopilot this week, and do you know what's really difficult is I never thought it would hit me as it has. Like it was just a complete kind of I just think about all the all the stuff and that, and it's just but I'm doing all right. It's, I'm waging through, and I know the content. Bringing the content is a nice distraction. But yeah, I'm doing okay, guys, and thank you for your support. You guys have been absolutely brilliant. and you guys have been fantastic. So Cheddars is saying he'd rather focus on the Champions League. He has to. Liverpool have to beat us to challenge for fourth.
Yeah, they've got one eye on the Champions League, haven't they? Of course, they've got a good chance of going far there. So I think they're in a bit of the same situation as us. One eye on Europe in the coming week, but they need to beat us, as Cheddar said. They need to beat us if they want to still challenge for fourth, though. So they'll probably put more in it than maybe what we would. But I'd like to see us at least put a good team out there that can actually try and win the game. I don't think we should rest many players. I don't think it would be fair on the fans.
Yeah, big up Roadmap as well, who's just joined. Big up Omar. Yeah, I was watching the stream as well. It was a bit. I don't know, it's a bit maybe. It's one of them. Is I watched it, and hence why I was a bit late to the stream as well. Big up Static as well, who's also just joined.
Big up Static. Big up everyone in the chat. Melina's here. Cheers, of course.
Big up loads of the guys. Do smash the like button. There's quite a few of you in chat. I think there's well over 20 in chat. So yeah, do keep smashing that like button. What do you think Arteta's going to do, Sam, tomorrow in regards to the lineup with that Europa League game in mind? Because I was listening to his press conference yesterday, and it kind of suggested that he's going to gamble a bit with players, and he kind of suggests that we still have a chance in the league, which kind of absolutely baffles me because we've got no chance.
Well, I think because we theoretically still can get into sixth place, I think Arteta still wants to do as well as he can in the league. I still think he sees that as a priority together with the Europa League. So I do think he will probably try and field as strong a team as possible tomorrow. But that being said, I do agree that the game coming up on Thursday does have a bit more significance and importance because that is, we're getting far now in that tournament, and we have a real chance there of both a trophy and a Champions League spot. So we should definitely put more eggs in that basket than in the league basket. I agree, but so I think maybe if I was Arteta, I wouldn't be risking, because I know both Smith Rowe and Saka are having fitness tests tomorrow, so I wouldn't be risking them. I really wouldn't. I'd like to save them for Thursday. So I'd probably bring in Willian or Reece Nelson and maybe a Pepe in for either of those, depending on what he wants to do. And yeah, just let them rest until Thursday, because I don't think it's worth risking them really, because it's not that significant as it would be if we were, for example, going for a title, or, as I said, really in a real tight race for the last Champions League spot or whatever. Then it would be slightly different. But yeah, we should definitely be able to take more of a gamble tomorrow and rest more players. Theoretically, I think so. What do you think?
Yeah, I personally think we should maybe not take any risks with influential players, and I see a lot of people saying in the chat that Saka's not going to be playing, which is kind of good in a way, because I don't want him to get even more injured than maybe he is. But I don't want us to take risks in this game. I know it's a big game and it's a game against Liverpool. But I really don't want us to take unnecessary risks, if I'm honest, Sam.
Yeah, I agree. He'll probably rest those guys who are on fitness tests. I think that he should do that. And like Molina, I agree with Molina here. I'd love to see Martinelli given a start, really, maybe. But I just don't think he has that sort of I just don't think Arteta's starting Martinelli at the moment. I think he sees him as coming off the bench. So we're more likely to see if we're looking out left, we're more likely to see a Pepe out left probably there tomorrow instead of Martinelli. That's if Smith Rowe's not playing, of course, or Saka. So so I just don't think Martinelli's going to start. Even though I agree, I'd love to see him start. What do you think? Do you think he'll start?
Who's that? Sorry. Yes.
Do you think Martinelli will start?
Oh, Martinelli.
I don't think
I'm
so.
not
I think
sure.
he's going to be on the bench.
I'm probably going to say no because Arteta doesn't rate him.
He doesn't
So
start
yeah,
him.
I'm probably going to say no, Sam. I don't think Arteta rates him that much.
I think he's saving him for next season, to be honest. I think he's got plans for him next season. He doesn't want to overexpose him this season. I think he's just gently bringing him back from what was a long-term injury. I think he's trying to not burn him out too much after that injury. So I think we'll see a lot more of him next season. I think he's in his plans for next season. He should definitely be able to start a game. Well, I think we're at that stage now where he should be able to do that. But I just don't think Arteta, like I said, I don't think he has those plans for him at the moment. I think he likes to bring him off the bench. So we're most likely going to see that's if Smith Rowe and Saka are being rested, then we're most likely going to see a Pepe out left, maybe a Willian, but I prefer to see a Pepe out left. I think Pepe works quite well out left. I'll be interested to see what Arteta actually does. Xhaka is also ill, so he's also touch and go tomorrow. But I think we're going to see him because Xhaka's the Iron Man. He never ever misses a game or a minute. So I think Xhaka's definitely going to start tomorrow, even if he has to puke all over the field all day long. He's going to be starting, and so we'll probably be seeing him again, and be interested to see who he goes with up front. Then with those potential possibilities there to rest Saka and Smith Rowe.
Yeah, big up Simpy as well, who's just joined in the chat.
Yeah, Simpy, mate.
Yeah, big up everybody who's joined. There's quite a good response as well.
Yeah, you're getting more people. We're getting more. You got some new people in the chat since the last time I was on. That's nice to see.
Yeah, I think it's been a few weeks since you've been on, innit? But yeah,
it's been a few weeks. Yeah,
it's taken up, mate. This week is just the channel's just taken off. It's mad. The real captain says, "Would you play Ceballos and Partey? Would you play Ceballos and Partey?"
Ceballos seems to be a bit out in the cold at the moment, wouldn't he? So I don't think he would start tomorrow, unless Xhaka is actually really ill and he can't play. Then maybe he'll look at that. But I'm thinking El Neni will probably get the nod ahead of Ceballos, to be honest, because El Neni seems to be a bit more of a stable player. He's not fireworks. He hasn't got flair, but he's a steady, he's a steady worker. He does what he needs to do. His passing is pretty decent. He's a good worker. And he's always available. That's what I like about Elneny when he plays. He's always available for the defence. He moves well, positions himself well. He's always a passing possibility for the defence. And I'll probably see him instead of Ceballos. Ceballos seems to be a bit out in the cold now, to be honest. He's had a few poor performances, hasn't he? So I don't think he'll get a nod tomorrow against Liverpool. But I don't know. That's the thing with Arteta. You never know. All of a sudden he'll spring a surprise and you play a player out of the blue. Like he did with Chambers a couple of games ago. All of a sudden he put Chambers in at right back and rested Bellerin and Cedric. So we never know with Arteta. He could spring a little surprise on us.
Yeah, and Simpy, I forgot to mention this when I saw you in the chat, so I just want to acknowledge it now. Congratulations, mate, on reaching 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, well done, mate. Well done,
I've seen it in the chat, and everybody, if you can go and let's help Simpy along a bit more. And I know there's quite a few in there that's not subscribed to Simpy, so please go and subscribe to him. Great guy, he puts out some great content. He really works hard on the videos he puts out, so please go and subscribe to him. There's 21 in chat, so I'm sure not all of you are subscribed to him. So yeah, please do. He puts out some fantastic content. And Simpy also asks, he said about do we think Aubameyang will start? This is really interesting for me because I'm not so sure with Aubameyang. There's something not right with Aubameyang. Is there?
There is something not right with him. His mentality, there's something wrong up in his head. He just completely lacks motivation. He just has no desire. He just seems to be, I don't know what it is. It's something off the field. I know he had those personal issues where he got time off. I don't know. This season has just been very, very strange with Aubameyang. It's like all of a sudden he's just a completely different person and player. Is just a shadow of himself. And it's such an unfortunate thing to see because we're used to seeing him banging in goals, being up near the top or at the top of the scoring charts. It's just, it's a shame to see that. And Aubameyang on his day is a world-class striker. We know that he's a world-class striker, he's a world-class finisher on his day. But unfortunately, at the moment, he's just not doing it, is he? So for me, he doesn't deserve to start the game. He really doesn't. I'd rather see a Pepe or maybe even, I know a bit controversial maybe, but maybe a young and hungry Reece Nelson. He hasn't had a game for a while now. Maybe he could be hungry enough to show something. I just wouldn't be out. I'm talking out left now, which is the most probable position where he would play. I just wouldn't let him start. I don't think he deserves it. I think it's taking too much of a risk starting him. What do you think, Danny? Would you start him?
I think there's something going on with Aubameyang that we're not privy to. I think there's something going on that we're not privy to. I just look at Aubameyang and he's just not, like you say, Sam, he's not cutting it. And look, I've championed Aubameyang. You guys know that in the chat as well, that I have championed Aubameyang, but I just don't, there's something not right. And it smacks of, is he just, does he want to leave even though he signed that contract? Because it's kind of performing like the way he did at Dortmund.
Yeah, he has that trajectory, hasn't he? Had that, where he's really, really good for a season or two or three, and then all of a sudden he just falls off when he wants to move on or he's not happy with something, and then he's just not motivated at all. With Aubameyang, I just don't know. Like you say, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We're not privy to that private information, so it is pure speculation. There might be a good reason for it. We don't know. We're not being told. But based on what he's doing on the pitch, which is all we can do, we can only base our opinions and our evaluations on what he actually does on the pitch. And what he does on the pitch at the moment is piss poor. It's just the end of it. He's nowhere near what he used to be in terms of performance. We all know his ability is great. He's got ability, but he's not using it. He's not, his ability is not being used lately. So for me, he doesn't deserve to start the game. I see a lot of people in the chat mentioning Martinelli. I agree. I'd love to see Martinelli start a game, but unfortunately, Arteta, I don't think he wants to start him. I think he sees Martinelli coming off the bench. He's more of a resource player at the moment. I think we'll see Martinelli more next season, but at the moment he's just coming off the bench. So, I don't think Aubameyang deserves a start. But then with Arteta, he has his favourites. He has his players who starts, no matter what happens, form or whatever. So, Aubameyang started right after the North London derby with all that, spectacle that went on there. And he started the next game, even though he didn't deserve it at all. So you don't know. Maybe he will start tomorrow. Maybe instead of Lacazette has been far better. Probably all of a sudden he'll start Aubameyang instead of Lacazette. I mean, that's something Arteta could do. So I hope he doesn't. But that is something all of a sudden he could spring on us. So it's difficult to say. You can never predict an Arteta lineup. You just can't. There's always one or two players that you just don't see it coming. The way they're either their position or who they are, who's been chosen. You just never see it coming with Arteta.
Yeah. Sam, do you think as well, because I know you've got to shoot off in 15 minutes because we're approaching almost 10 o'clock. Do you know, I said to you before the stream, I'm notoriously crap at checking checking the time, and I saw a timestamp next to someone's chat. So I was like, oh, great, I've just seen the time. So yeah. What do you think the club? What do you think we should do with Lacazette in the summer? Because there's a lot of talk as well. Like people are saying, we should keep him over Aubameyang.
I definitely think we should keep him over Aubameyang based on what we're seeing at the moment, because at the moment we're seeing Aubameyang doing absolutely nothing and just being a complete shadow of himself, and Lacazette actually producing something in terms of he might not score very many goals, even though he's our top scorer so far this season. He might not produce many goals. He might not be a spectacular striker, but he plays very well together with our younger players. He has a good cohesion with Smith Rowe and Ødegaard and Saka. They play well together. They move around well together. They change positions. Lacazette comes in deep and interacts well with Ødegaard, and then Saka and Smith Rowe will dart in behind and go into the box. And that seems to work quite well. And like I say, he's very good at holding up that ball. He seems to be a much better team player. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's getting slower. He's getting older. He can't really finish. To be brutally honest, I would rather sell both of them. I really would. I would sell both Lacazette and Aubameyang while we can still cash in some money for them. And I would buy a younger, better striker, someone more reputable, or maybe go for try and go for a big name and actually try and put ourselves back on the map a bit. That's what I'd like to see us do that, but. It's unlikely in this COVID climate, isn't it?
That's it with this COVID climate. Because see, the thing is, if we get rid of both, they're going to have to spend money on a big name. You're looking at if you're selling both Aubameyang and Lacazette, you're not gonna satisfy the fans unless you buy like a Haaland or someone like that.
Do you know who I really want? Do you know who I really want? I've been talking about this for a while. A striker I really would love to see at Arsenal, who I think would do really well for us. And yes, we'd have to sell Aubameyang, we'd have to sell Lacazette, sell Nketiah, and then maybe even after selling those, we might have to add a bit more money in there. But I'll tell you what, and I know he's not everyone's favourite, but I just think he would suit our style to a T, and that is Lukaku. I would really love to see Lukaku play for us because he's great in the air. He can head in our crosses. Really, Lukaku he's a good player. He's good at Inter Milan, mate. Have you been watching him for Inter Milan, mate? Have you been watching him for Inter Milan?
But I watched him at Man United. He is an elite.
Forget Man United. He's much better now at Inter Milan. Forget Man United. He's much better now at Inter Milan. He's an elite striker. He's great at holding up the ball. He's great. He's a great header, and he can finish as well. I mean, I think he's a strong, big, powerful striker. I think Lukaku could be very good for us. I think he suits our style. I really do. That's my opinion. And he would probably cost a lot of money as well.
Big up Ricardo as well, who's in the chat as well. God, you're all coming out tonight. Big up Zidane as well in the chat, who's coming out. Jesus, there's like 20, 26, 27 people in the chat.
I just don't think many of these people actually watched him. They're talking about Lukaku, thinking about Man United. Listen, Man United was years ago. If you actually watch Lukaku in the Serie A this season, actually watch some games with him, he's he's a lot better than he was at Man United. He's a big, strong, powerful guy. But listen, there's other strikers out there, of course. Of course there are, and it'll be interesting to see what happens, won't it?
Yeah, Sam. A lot of people are not happy with Lukaku. Do you know the thing is, right? I've said it as well. If we're going to get rid of Aubameyang and Lacazette, you need a big name. And when I say a big name, you're going to need to spend over 100 million, because the type of player, you need a big name.
Okay, so who would you go for then?
You know what? I would love. It's never going to happen. Never going to happen. So guys in the chat, don't think that I'm putting this out there as a realistic target. But I would love a guy like Haaland or
I'll tell you. Shall I tell you something, Daniel? I'll tell you. If we manage to keep Erdegaard, I actually think Haaland, it could be a realistic. It could be a realistic signing for Arsenal if we could put up the money and pay his wages. If we could do that, because they have a very good relationship off the field and on the field as well. They play very well together for the national team. But they're great friends. They're really good friends. They've grown up together, gone through the youth ranks with the Norwegian national team, and they play well together. And as I said, they're really good friends. And I think Haaland could be interested in, because Erdegaard, if he's there, and if we have some other good players coming in as well around him, I think we could entice Haaland if we could pay the money and the wages. I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're going to want to put up 150, because Dortmund has said they don't want any less than 150 million. So I just can't see us doing that.
Sorry, WF just said Sonogo. No, definitely not. Arsenal Manic, mate, you've put in twice Mbappe. Mate, I would love Mbappe at Arsenal.
Now we're talking realistic now. Now we're talking realistic.
Honestly, if Mbappe came to Arsenal, I would wank live on stream. Honestly, mate, I would literally, I'd love Mbappe. Like, literally, mate. Everyone knows that I'm a massive fanboy of Mbappe. I would love him at Arsenal. He would suit Arsenal to the ground as well.
Yeah,
like, seriously.
Million. They want 200 million for him.
But Haaland, do you know what, Sam, as well? I saw a report about Haaland said that he'd only go to Real Madrid if they kept Odegaard. If they wanted him back. So it'd be interesting to see.
Well, Erdegaard doesn't want to go. Erdegaard doesn't want to go back to Real Madrid. I know that for a fact. So he doesn't want to go back. He wants to stay at Arsenal, or if Arsenal can't broker a deal for him, he wants to go somewhere else. I think he feels his journey with Real Madrid is finished. He wants to move on to somewhere where he can actually play some football. Now he's 22 years old. He wants to start playing regular football now, because at Real Madrid he's not going to get regular football. He's just not going to get it, even though he's good enough for them, for their team. With Zidane, it looks like he's staying on now. He's just not going to get regular football. So it's also down to what the player wants. And I know Erdegaard doesn't want to continue with Real Madrid. The reports are he's enjoying life at Arsenal. He's playing well for Arsenal. He's our player of the month. He plays well for us. He fits straight into the team straight away. That means so much for a player to be able to do that, because that's something you just don't normally do, just fit straight in like that. I think we've got a good chance of keeping him. If not on a loan for another season, maybe we'll be able to buy him. And if we keep him and we want to do something big, if we have him and we have a plan in place and we have the money in place, we could get Haaland. I'm sure we could, because Haaland would love to play with Erdegaard, and I'm sure he would love to play under Arteta as well. But I just don't think we would put the money in there. We wouldn't pay 150 million. We probably wouldn't be able to pay him, or he's going to be on 400k a week or something like that now and be reading. So I just don't think that's realistic. I'd love to see it. I just don't think it's realistic. We have to look a bit cheaper than 150 million.
Yeah. Do you think as well, Sam? Because I know you've got to dash off in a few minutes.
Don't worry. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. I'll let you know when I got dash off.
Do you think? Because what I'll probably do is when you dash off, I'll stay on and read some comments, and I'll probably rattle through some of these comments and get these guys' opinions. But yeah, the thing with Haaland, do you know, strangely, and I've actually sat and thought about this. If Zidane stays at Real Madrid, there's a real big chance we could keep Odegaard. And I think the Haaland thing could happen, because, Pep and Man City have pretty much ruled themselves out of it. There's apparently 5 clubs in for him, right? So you've probably got Chelsea that are up there. You've probably, you've got Real Madrid and Barcelona. I can't see why I go to Barcelona because they're going nowhere. And Real Madrid, you can't see anything happening there unless certain circumstances happen. The clubs in Spain have got a real financial problem with
Real Madrid,
this. I know we have as well, but I just look on this deal with Haaland and I just think, do you remember when everyone was linked to bloody Pepe? Everybody was linked to Pepe, and then we come in right at the last fucking minute and gazumped everybody. So I don't know,
I just don't think they have the money for him, to be honest. I don't think they have them. They have to sell players to be able to buy him. Real Madrid have to sell players to be able to buy him. I just don't think they're in the position that they think they are to be able to get him. I know they think they are. I just don't think it's as easy as they think it is. The 5 clubs, they're going to be, so it's Barcelona and Real Madrid. And then there's Man City, Man United and Chelsea, apparently. They're the 3 in England that have actually declared their interest. So we'll see. But I think Arteta has tabs on this. And if Odegaard stays at Arsenal, you never know. You never know. We really don't. I just, it's not realistic because I just don't see us putting up 150 million. I just don't see it happening. I mean, it's such a huge amount of money for us.
I've just seen a real clincher question from Republic of Arsenal. He said, would you sell Saka to buy Haaland?
Wow. That is a good question, isn't it? Because because I mean, if you're brutally honest, if you're brutally honest, Haaland is a much better player and a more accomplished player than Saka is. I mean, Haaland is a goal machine. He scored 19 goals in the Champions League in 14 games. He scores on half of the chances he gets. He's got statistics that have never been seen before in modern football. The guy is an absolute phenomenon. I mean, if we're gonna get, if it's one of those Sophie's Choice things, you have to get rid of one to get the other. I actually would get rid of Saka to get Haaland. I know it's painful to say he's an Arsenal boy and all that, but I mean, Haaland is just something else. He really is. I'll be brutally honest about it. I would sell Saka to get Haaland. I would probably get some flack for that, but
I'll tell you what James just put here. He said Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison are not for sale. I don't want Richarlison. He's a waste of bloody. He's a crap player. Calvert-Lewin, I'd take Calvert-Lewin all day long. I think he's a quality player. I think he's an absolute quality player.
Yeah, Calvert-Lewin is another potential name we could bring in. I think we need a new striker. I really do. I think we need a new striker, someone who's going to score us goals, because at the moment we don't have it. Lacazette with 12, 13 goals and Aubameyang with 10 goals. It's just not going to cut it, is it?
What about a lot of people are suggesting take Sergio Aguero?
You know what? That's. I would probably, at the end of the day, probably say no, just because I think he's too much of a risk. Even though he's probably still got goals in him. I don't think he's finished as a football player. He's just a bit too much of a risk for me at 32 with his recent injury record and all that. I know he's fit now and all that, and he could probably score more goals than Lacazette and Aubameyang could, that's for sure. But he's just too much of a risk. We need to go younger. And we need to look at more of our youth and the younger players, bringing a younger striker. I see people here a little bit of pushback on not wanting to sell Saka, but I don't think they've seen Haaland. I don't think they've seen Haaland. I think some of these guys here in the chat they just haven't seen Haaland play. I don't think they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, there's 25 in chat. Do hit the likes, guys. 25 of you in chat, so please smash that like button. It really does help the channel grow. Like the likes and everything this week has been absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, and it's just gone up to 28 in chat. So yeah, everybody smash the views on the videos lately have been great, and especially that tribute for Claude. It's well over 5,000 views on that, and over almost at 400 likes, which is the most I've ever had on any video.
Great, really good, mate. Well done.
So yeah, big up to all of you guys actually making everything happen. You know, you guys have been fantastic, and you know the last couple of streams, especially this one, you know, there's like almost nearly 30 people in chat, and that's probably apart from the stream I did about Claude, this is probably the most I've ever had in a live stream. So you know, big up to you taking your time to tune in and read out, you know, watch me, because that you know, that means a lot. And I know that that would have meant a lot to Claude, because you guys know that Claude really liked me, and I loved Claude. Do you know what I mean? And that would have meant a lot to him. So so I just want to thank you all for that. Sam, I know you've got to shoot off in a minute, right?
Yeah, I got better get going now. I just wanted to say thanks for having me on, and it's been a real pleasure and a good chat. Some really interesting questions there. That was some good stuff there. It's nice to see that everyone in the chat so involved. Many good questions, many good opinions. A lot of great stuff there from the chat as usual. So it's been fun. So I just want to say thanks for having me, and I've got to shoot off, and hopefully we'll be on a stream together soon. Hopefully I can come back here soon. I'll come back here soon. It'll be great.
Yeah, and Sam, thanks for coming on. Listen, guys, I'm going to stay on and read some of your comments for a little bit. So so don't think I'm ending the stream now. I'm going to stay on and read some of your comments and get your thoughts. But I just want to tell, while there's so many people in the chat, I am going to be doing a pre-match build-up. I'm going to be joined by Zach, the Kind Gooner. And then after, I'll have another guest on for the post-game show after the game as well. So, so yeah, lots coming up. But do fire those questions in, because I will read them out. Sam, listen, mate, thank you very much for coming on. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks a lot, Danny. Always been great talking to you again. Yeah, as I said, it's always a pleasure. It's always good fun. We were as a good chat, and everyone in the chat, stay safe, stay well. Let's have a good game tomorrow against Liverpool, and it's nice to see everyone again. And hopefully I'll come on here again soon, Danny. It's been fun.
Yeah, listen, mate, thank you. Thank you very much for coming on. Cheers.
Right, I'm off. See you later. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Come on then, guys. Fire those questions in. And I will read those questions out. Big up Steve, the Arsenal misfit, as well in the chat. Let's have a look here. Big up John. Fucking hell, I'm trying to read through all these comments. There's so many of them. Xhaka for Haaland, says Arsenal Manic. I'm not sure I'd do Xhaka for... Actually, I would do Xhaka for Haaland, but I don't think Dortmund would take that. Yeah, I don't think Dortmund would take that. Omar, do you know what? I forgot to ask Sam his prediction, but I'll give you mine. I'm probably going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal win. Yeah, I'm going for a 2-1 Arsenal win. Let's have a look what else we got here. Opinions on... Now, I'm probably going to butcher this because of my screen reader. Lima Belcher. I've probably butchered that guy's name. You guys know, like, the names like that I'm going to butcher because my screen reader reads them not how they're pronounced. I'm not sure, mate, to be honest. I've not really seen much of him. Mbappe will join in the summer. Keep your word. When did I say Mbappe is going to join in the summer? I would love him to, but it ain't going to happen. Ricardo says, unfortunately, I think we'll lose tomorrow. You're probably right there, mate, to be fair. WF says, Daniel, I reckon the club has got to sell players to get money off of Silent Stan because they still owe the government 100 million. Yeah, that's the thing as well. And it kind of depends on what European competition we're in, doesn't it? Roadmap says, do you think they'll do a minute silence for Claude tomorrow? I'm not sure, mate. I doubt it, but I'd like to think they would. James Dunlop says, my earlier prediction was 1-1, but I'm going 2-1 to the Arsenal. Hope you guys win tomorrow. Oh, yeah, because you're Everton fan, aren't you? So you don't want to see Liverpool win. Omar's going for 2-1. John's going for 1-1. John 1886. Arsenal Manic says, I don't care much about the match tomorrow. Gonna be honest, not gonna let it bother me. Do you know what, mate? I'm sort of like that as well, if I'm being brutally honest. And you know, I love football, and you know, because of all that's happened this week, I'm sort of like that. I'm sort of just going around in a bloody daze this week. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, I'm late. Says the Arsenal misfit. Will depend on tomorrow's game. Will depend on two things, depending on which Liverpool team and Arsenal team show up. I have no idea who will win because both teams are as erratic as hell. Do you know what? You're probably right there. To be fair, you are actually right. And it just depends. It just depends on what's going on. It just depends. It just depends on what Arsenal team shows up. You're right. Let's have a look. Liam Vince is going for a 3-2 Liverpool. That could happen as well because the way we played against West Ham, fucking hell. Never seen such a fucking erratic performance in my life. WF, mate, you must be smoking something. 4-0 to Arsenal. We ain't winning 4-0. Taib, big up Taib. And for a 1-1 draw. If we win, Daniel, where do we go in the table? Says Arsenal man. I'm not sure, mate, if I'm being honest. I'm not sure. I don't think we move much, to be honest. Roadmap says Daniel cares more about the Man U match face roll. No, I don't, mate. Jesus Christ. Fucking Randy Viper. Been peddling lies. If we win, fine. If we lose 10-0, it's also good. Do you know I'm a bit like that as well, Ricardo, mate? Kyle and Dean's going for a 3-1. Both sides defenders are shocking, says Liam Vince. Arsenal 3. Read that. We're not going anywhere in the table, says Ricardo. You're right, mate. We're not. We're not, mate. Big up to the Arsenal Fan Circle channel. I've forgotten your name, you know. Jesus Christ. I feel like a complete idiot. I forgot. Do you know what, mate? It's been an absolute flaming week and I'm forgetting everything. Jesus Christ. You know, do you know what I mean? I'm forgetting everybody's name. But yeah, like it's going to be an interesting game, and it's going to be an interesting game. But like I said to Sam at the big top of the show, we have to take into account that we've got an important game in the Europa League. So yeah, we have to just take into account. Do you know what I mean? Zidane says, "Who would you sign and sell this summer?" That's a very interesting one as well. Listen, I'm probably going to do another video on it, because if I stay here, I'll probably go on for another half an hour, 40 minutes. So I won't answer that question now. I'll probably do like a whole video on it, and I'll probably get a couple of guests and stuff on. So I'll probably save that for another show. A win will take us 45.6 behind top four. And yeah, you like I say, we've got to rely on other results, and I can't see Chelsea dropping points. You know, I don't think Chelsea are going to drop points. Thomas Tuchel's got them playing really well. Can you believe that that Leicester are third? Says Arsenal man. Yeah, they're doing all right. Big up Raw Aaron as well. Big up Ryan Barnfield. Taib, mate, you joker. I've just read your comment, mate. You fucking joker. You absolute joker. What a joker. I can't believe it, mate. You are such a joker, Taib. So yeah, listen, do you know what, guys? Please smash that like button. Really important. To keep driving the likes up. It's been a good show tonight. Had a good show from Sam. Don't forget, tomorrow I am going to be back with a pre-match build-up show. I'm going to be doing the pre-match build-up show with Zach. So we'll be doing that about an hour and a half before the game. So yeah, we'll probably be doing the pre-match build-up, and then the post-game show. I haven't got a guest on yet, but I will have a guest on. I haven't decided who that's going to be yet. I've got to kind of contact a few people. But yeah, please do smash the likes. Keep smashing that likes. I want to take this time, so hopefully you will just stick around for a bit longer. But I want to thank you all for contributing this week. The growth of the channel has been absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And, you guys have been brilliant. It's a kind of a bittersweet feeling for me, this, because, obviously with what happened to Claude, and I'm obviously gutted, absolutely gutted about that. But then on the other hand, I'm really happy that my channel's grown, and it's just a shame that it's grown off the back of the tragic news to Claude. And like I said, it's very bittersweet, and I kind of have to separate the two. And I just keep telling myself that Claude would have been proud, and Claude would have loved the response that I've got off the channel this week. But it's so I have to keep telling myself that. But I appreciate you guys. Like I say, Claude's tribute is over 5,000 views, and that's the most I've ever had on this channel. And that just shows how much Claude was respected, and Claude was loved. And I want to thank you guys as well for being patient this week as well, because the streams have been great and the viewership's been great. But in terms of me putting out the content, it's been tough. It's been tough to carry on, and tough to kind of get through it, and tough to kind of soldier on, but I've done it because I know that that's what Claude would have wanted, and I know that you guys, you know, the loyal ones, the real ones, you know, deserve that. So thank you for everything you guys have done, and watching the shows and that. I really appreciate it. Listen, guys, I'm gonna wrap this show up. But like I said, I will be back tomorrow with the pre-match build-up. The show's not up yet. I'll set that up in the morning, and then I'll be back in the evening as well with the post-game show. So I'll be doing the post-game show. So hopefully you can all tune into that. Obviously, it's a late kickoff as well, isn't it? So the post-game show is going to be about 10 or 11 at night time. So it's going to be a late one tomorrow. So hopefully set your reminders. I'll put it out on Twitter. So follow me on Twitter as well, The Blind Gooner, and on Facebook, The Blind Gooner. So I'll post it there as well, the times as reminders. But do turn on that notification bell as well. All the new guys, do turn on the notification bell. And yeah, listen, I'll catch you all tomorrow. Love to you all, and you know, have a good one, have a safe one, and look after one another. All right, take care, guys.